So my name is Christina Stapke. I am a functional dietitian based in Seattle, Washington, and I have a 100% virtual practice. So I see clients throughout the U.S. as well. I focus a lot on gut health and autoimmune disease. And I started my practice about a year and a half ago now. So I'm really excited to be in Chen's mastermind program now. I was in a hospital working as a clinical dietitian for about 3 years. And I am also transitioning out of an outpatient clinic as well. I felt like I could help people a lot more in the clinic, at least, rather than the hospital where I kind of saw them for 20 minutes and then, I gave them Ensure and then left. It just wasn't very fulfilling in a way that I could help people significantly. And then I kind of got to the clinic and I felt like I was just a workhorse. I mean, I felt like I could really help people a little bit more, but I didn't feel like I had enough time and I didn't feel like I could help them as significantly as I could in my practice. So that's ultimately why I opened my practice up. So at the beginning of starting my practice, I think I was most frustrated about first of all, not having consistent clients, because I didn't really know what the right way to go about it was. And when I say right, I mean, what is the most efficient way to go about getting quality leads and ultimately my ideal clients? So not really having much guidance or direction. Honestly, I was discouraged. I was feeling like, oh, I finally opened up my practice. People are just going to come to me and I can help people and it's going to be great. And then it was just crickets. When I was like, okay, I'm obviously doing something wrong. I need to get more strategy. So I was feeling discouraged and I kind of felt like, I'm going to have to stay in the hospital for a while longer. I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm going to feel more burnt out. So I wasn't feeling good at the beginning.
How long did that go on for before you felt like, I need to do something different about this?
Probably 3 months. I'm not very patient. I was like, I opened up my practice and I'm going to do something about this now. So I'm super grateful I found you, Chen, so quickly, or you found me, I don't know. I'm glad we found each other because it wasn't that long until I got support.
And what's changed for you that you're excited about?
Yeah, a ton has changed. I mean, I'm offering programs and packages at price points that I never would have imagined when I first started out. And, I have clients finding me and booking calls, several times a week, which was not a thing before at all. And I'm getting clients that are my ideal clients who I love helping, and people who are really motivated. So it's awesome because now I'm actually going to take that next leap to leave my clinic soon here and have my practice fully supporting me. So it's kind of unreal because it's been a year and a half and I was expecting it to maybe take a little bit longer. So I'm super excited. I only offer packages. I don't actually do a la carte. So it's a series of 6, 8, and 11 session packages, essentially. So we do kind of a whole functional nutrition assessment where we dig into, every different aspect of health. And then we dive deep into, what diets are good for their bodies, of course, what kind of supplement regimen might support them best. We do functional testing interpretation. So we look at gut microbiome analysis, we look at food sensitivities, micronutrient analysis, just to come up with a really personalized plan. And then as far as price points, my packages range from minimum is $1,000 to $3,300. And then I also sell supplements as well. And so that's essentially what I offer. I work with other clients in healthcare too. So just to kind of show them this different world and how they could really feel a lot better from using these approaches is rewarding too, because they can spread the word in their medical worlds as well. That's usually coming from conventional.
What made you decide to be a part of the mastermind?
Going into the mastermind was for sure one of the biggest decisions I've ever made for myself. Yeah, financially, time commitment, I mean, everything. And I felt intuitively that it was something I needed to do if I wanted to grow my practice at the speed that I was really looking to grow it in. And it was scary, but it was one of those things where I intuitively felt like I needed to do it. And because it was scary, but if it was a good scary, I felt like I needed to. And I knew it was going to bring my practice to another level. So
as you were deciding, what kind of hesitations came up for you?
I was worried about not being able to make enough just to pay off the cause per month, and because at the time I was not consistently booking clients. I mean, I was getting clients trickling in, but that was my biggest hesitation and biggest fear, was just not being able to make enough to pay that off, and then how do I even make money on top of that? But that never ended up being an issue. I booked at least the number of clients I needed to at least pay off the program and even make money. Like I had your support, Chen, and in using strategies to make sure I got clients in, even if it was one a month. That's kind of what we figured out. Like if I can book one client a month, then everything's taken care of, and anything extra is nice to have. So yeah.
Tell everyone what you're really excited about that just happened in the last month too.
So last month I had my biggest month ever. My goal for a while, and this is kind of like my bigger goal, is to make over 10K in revenue. And that was kind of, when I first set the goal, it seemed like a very lofty goal. But I surpassed that. I made like over 11K last month. So it was just one of those months where I was like, wow, okay, this is happening. This is real, and this is totally possible. Yeah. And so that's what happened. And, all of them were people that I'm really excited to work with, most importantly, and that are motivated and like ready to hit the ground running with their health. So.
And how many days a week that you're doing this in?
On average, 3 to 4.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And what have you enjoyed most about the Introverted Visionaries Mastermind experience?
I've enjoyed so much. I think something that I find so valuable is having a sense of community and having somewhere to go with questions. And it's so easy to get answers too, Chen. I mean, you're so accessible. But yeah, also just having a community of support, because I'm very new to this. And so, talking to practitioners who have done this before has been really awesome. Because especially being virtual, I don't have a building of other practitioners to work with too. So it gives me kind of that sense of a team and community that I don't get being in a building. Having the templates and scripts has been a game changer. I've been doing a lot of talks the past few months, and just using your formula for creating a talk has been, I can create it in a day if I wanted to. I mean, I'm really picky about like details, but I feel like if I was less so, I would probably be able to get done really fast. But I've been able to use those, and they've been extremely helpful.
Tell us about a few of the talks that you've had and what happened from them too.
My last talk, I talked about functional nutrition, just kind of an introduction on what that looks like. And I booked 5 discovery calls from it. And I think I've booked at least 3 people from those 5 discovery calls.
Like paid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, packages. And 2 of them have been my $1,600 package, and one of them was my $1,000 one. So yeah, and it was a 30-minute talk, 40 minute talk. I booked a few discovery calls. I had one person book, and then I have one more coming up actually next week for a gut disorder support group for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Awesome. So the autoimmune one, you said you had a few people book discovery calls, and then one person signed up and paid. Mm-hmm. How many people were there?
I think there were 10 or 11 people there.
And this is all done through Zoom. Not bad, right? For hopping on for half an hour and educating and then getting paying clients from that. So, so would you say is a piece of advice that you have about growing the practice? Like, especially when whether it's you're starting out and getting things going, or now that you've, had more traction, what you've noticed, like what's a piece of advice you would give?
I think to not be scared to invest in your practice, because you will see return. I think that's probably the biggest piece of advice. But another thing would be to pursue avenues that you might not think would be a good idea, or something that you might not think you would enjoy. For example, talks for me, or I had no idea how much I would love doing them. I just get so much energy and joy from them that it's just such a fun, efficient way of marketing. So, if you have any any interest in doing that, considering to do that kind of marketing, because they can be super fun.
When you first started the mastermind, there were times when the conversations with potential clients sometimes were a bit frustrating, because it felt like, oh, how come they're not getting it? And would you share a little bit about what the experience was like for you, and then what helps you with that, start to have more breakthroughs around it?
Well, at the beginning, when I was doing discovery calls, I didn't really feel like I had quite enough guidance, or, it just didn't feel comfortable to be selling things. It's so out of the norm, or was out of the norm for me at the time. So having, the script that you gave us, and, adding in my things that I said, basically over time, I've kind of learn what makes people feel really comfortable, and allows people to see that I'm genuinely wanting to help them. So kind of using those tools, and then also getting past the barrier of saying large numbers, basically, like highly priced packages and programs. I remember when I first started, I raised my prices per your advice, Chen. There was a client who I said, it's $1,600 essentially. And she basically was like, okay, thanks, and hung up. And after that, I was so scarred. I was like, oh my gosh, they're too high. Like, I'm not going to get clients. And, but then after kind of working on the script with more clients and peers as well, I just got really comfortable with saying the numbers, saying what I offered, and ultimately remembering before and during and after the call that the reason why I'm doing this is to really help people, and the way I can help them best is through my highest price program. So kind of getting over that whole mental block was really huge. Right now it's $32.95.
Remind everyone what that includes.
So it's a 90-minute initial assessment. It's 10 hour-long follow-ups. And a few of those include functional testing interpretations, and limited messaging on my EHR. What else does it include? 3 weekly recipes for 15 weeks. They get a nice little cookbook with a shopping list and fun pictures and stuff from that. And then what else? Personalized education handouts, personalized treatment plans that they'll get after each visit. And now I'm actually adding on a bonus group component that I'm kind of thinking through how I'm going to monetize that. But right now I have, I think, at least 3 or 4 that are going to participate in the group component. So I'm planning on doing that, at least incorporating 3 or 4 group classes with that program too.
Like doing more like a pilot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you most excited about, like as far as your vision?
Yeah, I'm so excited about just being 100% self-sufficient and on my own, and like having built this is just very rewarding. Having built my thing and now it's taking off and it's actually a living, breathing practice. I'm so excited to have the flexibility to again be able to leave my clinic, and also one of my dreams is to kind of live part-time in Mexico and be able to surf all winter and then come back to Seattle and spend the beautiful summer here. So just kind of seeing that vision and being able to taste that as a reality is super exciting, because it's been my dream for years to do something like that. But it's happening a lot sooner than I expected. So.
Yay. So exciting. What do you wish you knew back then that you know now? Any hesitation as you ended up deciding, okay, I'm going to get help with this?
I mean, initially I just hesitated at how much I was investing when I wasn't really making anything with my practice. So I was definitely hesitant about making that kind of investment, but I just had been hearing from numerous mentors how, you need to invest in your business and really spend money to make money eventually, at some point. So definitely was hesitant about that at first, but I ultimately realized this was going to be kind of the uncomfortable leap I needed to make, at least as that first step to ultimately growing my practice much faster than I had heard other dietitians had grown their practice. It took them 3-4 years. I didn't want to take that long. I wanted to get it going faster. At least when I was about to join the mastermind, I was kind of like, I remember going into that call with you, Chen, and being like, she's going to get me to sign up for something and I'm just putting my foot down and I can't do it. But just going into just the mastermind more open and yeah, again, it's scary, but I wish I would have not resisted. I mean, it's not like I resisted that much, but just not resisted because it was 100% worth it. Yeah, just not resisted because I'm so glad I did it. And just trusting in the process and being able to get the tools that you need to grow your practice really fast.
What would you say to someone who might be on the fence?
If you're on the fence, it's totally worth it. And also, what you put into it, you'll get the return out of it. You just have to kind of put your heart and soul into it. Because it's 100% worth it, and you'll get the support you need.
Well, congratulations, Christina. You're being able to do this work virtually and help people, especially through functional medicine, and then have a rewarding practice of your own. So in just a few days a week and a 6-figure practice is amazing. And so congratulations again. So happy to have had you here today. And for those of you who are in a place where you feel like you're having a dip in your practice or at a plateau, and you're capable of so much more, then feel free to reach out and go to introvertedvisionary.com and then book in a free session with us, and happy to give you insight and how we can help you grow faster. So we can all together wake up the planet more. So with that, thank you again for being here, Christina, and I see you all soon.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Chen.